Hey guys, Jack here, and today I'm in the podcast episode with Bailey for Anime vs. Reality.
Hey everyone.
Today we're going through Higurashi. We're gonna be starting off with the first episode, where we start with a landlord poking a trash bag with what is literally like a 10-foot pole. It's like, you know the memes of like, I will not touch this with like even with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere near it with a 10-foot pole
Well, this guy wanted to.
because the bag was like, what was it? He saw the bag and it looked suspicious to him,
Yeah.
and he didn't know what it was
Well,
until he's poking it.
yeah, he's poking it and the bag just rips open, revealing a dead body with the entrails on the outside, but somehow
But this,
intact. We
yeah,
got a nice old broken leg, and
and
also,
nails, yeah,
yeah.
nails driven into every finger joint.
What is that a reference to?
That's Team 4 Star. No,
Mm. Also, the body seems to have a star imprinted onto the torso.
what was it? I'm just trying to remember. It wasn't a tattoo. It was like looked like it was burned on there.
Yeah, that's why I said imprinted. I didn't say tattoo.
Okay. Yeah. It was like what they do with cattle. Where they what's that word?
Branding.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, this body does look a bit familiar, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Anyways, let's get to the plot. Where Keiji's mum gets a call from Tokyo and is like, has to go there to help, like, his, like, Keiji's dad. Because
Yeah.
for some unrelated thing, he collapsed. I think it's literally just a situation of, we're getting the mum out of the story because she's not important.
Because the plot demands it.
Yeah. So yeah, she's going there for a few days, and Keiichi's a bit upset because he doesn't know how to cook.
I know that feeling.
And throughout the whole day, all the girls are just like, "You're gonna have to cook, man. Man up and cook." Amazingly, he almost burns his house down on the first try.
It's like God, this guy, he's like the Mary Sue of cooking.
Just the worst.
Yeah.
Rather conveniently, Satoko and Rico show up before he burns his house down completely. And like, Satoko is like, turn the gas stove off. Like, because she
Yeah,
knows
it's
how to cook.
I don't know if I showed you. There was this Twitch video, and the chick doesn't know what she's Twitch streaming how to cook, and she starts a fire, and then she tries to put water on it, and that just
Grease
makes the
fire.
fire go bigger, and she runs up, help, help, I need help. It's like this right. I don't know. This when Ketchy said he nearly burnt down the house, it made me think of that.
So yeah, Sadako is like, she's actually a really good cook. We find out this episode, uh, and she makes dinner for the three of them.
Yes, it's simply to die for.
Although, by her standards, it's not as great because a lot of the stuff is store bought.
Yeah.
Yeah. While Satoko is doing that, Rika and Keiichi are setting up the table for them to have dinner, and Rika's like brings up Satoko's older brother Satoshi, and the fact that the two siblings live separate from each other now. But yeah, I already covered what the next point is. So we'll continue on to Sadako talking about her brother.
Yeah. Go on.
So Sadako is like reiterates the whole Satoshi narrative, but for some reason Keiji acts like he didn't just hear Rika tell him about Satoshi. We do learn that he did run away, which is like a big surprise to Sadako because of his inability to take care of himself. Keiji does his weird like little head pat of Satoko. What?
Kind of looks like what I don't
think
know
I
why.
misspelled it actually. Is it Satoko? Or was I spelling it right? It is so confusing with Satoko. It's Satoko, right?
Yeah.
I literally need to check on my phone. Can you continue the points while I check?
I sure can. Alright, so where is he? Here we go.
head
Kechi and what?
The head pats.
That's Kechi. Once again, head pats Satoko on the head. Surprises how strong she is as a person. I imagine it was like patting a brick wall. Let's hear you. Ah.
So yeah, I was spelling it right.
Satoko and Rika get on their bikes to leave, but before Rika leaves, she says to Kechi, today Kechi scored 100% and asked him to play along with Satoko's scolding sometimes.
But what does she mean by today's Keshi?
I don't know, but he scored 100%.
It's a bit odd to say today's Keshi, isn't it?
Yeah, today's Kechi. It's like, oh my god, he won the lottery of death.
Or life, whichever.
Whatever. We don't know.
Oh, I feel like someone won the lottery.
Yes, it's to die for. Kechi's mum returns to a phone call from Satoko about a fight going down and to hurry to the school. Turns out the fight is a baseball match.
What?
And he turned up,
Oh yeah, the mum did return and like gave the phone to Keiji.
and just shows up with a golf club.
And he's like, "You want to play baseball with a golf club?"
Unless he's so good, he's like, a golf club is the only way I can give the other players a chance at beating me.
Well, no, it's because he like Sadako misworded it. Like, she said fight, so he brought a weapon to a fight.
Yeah.
It's like, she in that moment she was purposely trying to embarrass him. Clearly.
Yeah.
So yeah, the baseball match that we have going on is between the Hinamizawa Fighters and the Okonomiya Titans. We find that Keiji is horrendous at baseball, completely striking out, and then gets shown up by a little girl, by Sadako, hitting a home run first try. That is gonna be emasculating.
How's that going to be emasculating?
The small girl that's like, the baseball bat is like almost at a height, like in
Oh,
length.
I thought you meant it was emasculating for her, and I was like,
No,
how's it emasculating?
No, for Keiji.
Yeah, I thought you said, how's it going to be emasculating for her? I mean, she freaking knocked that out of the park.
Yeah, I think she always it like went towards the building with that shot. That's how good it was.
Yeah.
So after the game, Ira joins Keiji and sitting on the bench, and we get a bit of a creepy vibe from Ira.
Go on.
So, like, the first thing he says is everyone just calls him supervisor, which isn't as creepy. And then immediately the second topic goes straight to Sadako and her smile. It's like, dude, that is such a 180 on topic.
We know shit's about to get real now, son.
Oh yeah, especially when you hear the fact that he plans on proposing to her when she's older.
Yeah. You're plumb done, gosh darn, did it now, son.
I just hear, I in the moment I was just like, oh, that is wrong on many levels.
But at least
At least he's waiting until she's old enough.
Yeah, at least
But
he's
it's still
legal.
like,
It's not like with what was it, Sankaria?
uh,
And the guy's like just like goes to propose to and she's what, 12? Or something?
well, she was probably 13. Like 13's like the legal age in Japan for relationships.
Okay.
Let's just hope he doesn't approach her when she's 13 and asks to be in a relationship with her. Because at that point, I would just be like, okay, let's gang up on this guy and beat him down for hitting on a young girl.
Yeah, bad touch. Bad touch. Stranger danger.
Like, I'm pretty sure he likes her now, because even though she's a little child.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just wrong.
Okay, let's get away from the Sadako topic and talk about the Satoshi topic and how he used to play for the Fighters. But Ire said he just transferred due to misfortune happening to him. We find out that Sadako's parents fell off a cliff while on vacation. Yeah, like like in the flashback we see like the railing give way, which I'm like, wouldn't more than just that one section go?
Yeah.
Like it would have made more sense if all the railing with the cliff went, wouldn't it?
Well, from what we've learned so far, there are mysterious forces at play, so...
Mysterious forces like water?
Yeah, no.
Water damage to wood?
Yeah, and don't forget the mold. That's a real killer.
I'll mold you into something.
No, I've seen what happens. I've seen the movie Ghost. What happens when you mold clay?
Oh, probably the less sexy version though.
You're gone.
Okay. We find out that Ire is considering adopting Sadako, which, okay, good starter step to being a pervert.
Yeah, it's like, no, this is...
Especially when we find out we have no experience in raising children. Why do you want to adopt someone when you have no experience in raising children?
They should do a test, okay? We should be like, okay, you want to raise a child. First, you're going to nurture this plant, and then you slowly graduate them up.
Yeah, you're going to be able to take care of a dog. That's like the last step.
Yeah, it's like, alright, you're in.
Yeah, you got to go from, plant...
No, the last step would be babysitting.
Yeah. You got to go plant, cat, dog, babysitting, and then you can adopt. Mostly cat, because they won't listen to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Keiichi asks what Ire would do if he was able to adopt Satoko. And Shion shows up to complete Ire's thought process, with her own slightly inappropriate response, which is pretty accurate. I feel like it's pretty accurate to what Iro would say. And we find out that Shion is like the phantom manager of the fighters.
What a twist!
Da, da, da. I love how it's like, just as the character shows up, we know them.
Yeah.
Later on in that same day, Shion says that Keiichi played a major role in the game, but Keiichi's like, I just literally struck out. And like,
In more ways than one.
yeah, like Sadako managed to hit the home run. That was a big contributor to points.
Poor guy.
Yeah. This conversation then just shifts back to Satoshi again and his transfer, and Shion is like, freaks out. Because she's just like, we don't say that he transferred. You see, on the way home after helping Shion clean out the plates, I think it was they were cleaning.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's why she freaks out. Sorry, I was just a little confused on that last part. When she freaks out, Keiichi says transferred, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right.
She did. She's like, he didn't transfer.
Yeah, that's why I was confused for a second there. I know why she's freaking out.
Yeah. Because she knows.
Yeah, she knows.
Well, she
So
doesn't really know.
next time.
You want to take the next note?
Yeah. On the way home, Rena questions if it's still June because it's like summer came out of nowhere with no rainy season. June is commonly called Minasuki or the month of water and marks the start of summer.
Yeah, I just wanted to know that.
Keiichi asks Rena and Mion about Satoshi and if he ran away or got transferred. Satoshi did somehow manage to vanish to the point that even the police couldn't find him. Satoshi also withdrew all the money from his account and saved from his part-time job the day he went missing. Not suspicious at all. Someone looking like him was spotted at Nagoya Station.
Even more suspicious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Rena's insistent on the fact that Satoshi transferred because it is Oyashiro's curse. Like, apparently Satoshi mentioned that he was being followed and watched, which is interesting. And Rena clearly devotee of Oyashiro is like, it's like, she says, when people try to leave Hinamizawa, they get punished. Like, it takes a little slap from Mion to get her out of her crazy state. She, like, Mion goes and just goes, like, Will Smith slap.
Ragdoll effects.
Yeah. So yeah, Mion makes a lie about lending Keiichi some manga, which is basically code for like, we need to go and have a private conversation. So, and Rena's like, oh yeah, and just takes off so they can have a talk. And like,
Yeah.
And Mion's like, best to avoid that topic unless you want to see Rena go crazy again.
Yeah, because you know who doesn't love a good crazy?
I love crazy.
No, the bad ending of Far Cry 3. If it taught me anything, if you don't do it with crazy.
But what's wrong with doing it with crazy?
You die.
Oh, do you get castrated or something?
Or something.
But do you get castrated before something?
No.
Oh.
Don't
That's
get
that's the pinnacle of crazy. If someone's like, you got a lady and they bite and pull.
Let's look up the ending. You'll know what I mean by crazy. But yeah, okay, where were we?
So second last point.
Satoshi and Satoko's parents were the leaders of proponents for the whole damn plan. I see what you did there.
Yep.
The whole damn
The
plan.
whole damn plan. Yeah.
Yeah. People wanted the plan to go through just for the money. It's because of the Oyashiro curse that their parents died and Satoshi ran away. Mion asked Kechi not to mention anything about Satoshi around Satoko or Rena. Rena was cursed by Oyashiro in the past.
Well, that sounds like fun, doesn't it?
Yeah. Alright, that's the end of episode 9.
What do you mean?
What?
What do you mean? Isn't it episode 1?
Oh yeah, episode 1, sorry, I'm just... That's right, we're on the new one, yeah. Oh, it's been so long since we've done these.
Anyway,
yeah, so...
at the school, we find out that Sadako hasn't shown up for the last few days. And like the games club gets worried. She apparently has a cold. I call BS.
Mm.
Especially
And why do you call BS?
Well, we know.
Yeah, we know. You should look up Inuyasha, where I forget her name, Kagami or something, and she's not going to school, and the grandpa's coming up with all these excuses, and it makes it sound like she has no immune system, so she just keeps getting sick.
Anyway, yeah, so Keiichi helps out 2 kids by getting a ball down from the roof using the pole. He's doing the classic like pole poke. And then Oishi approaches him from the Akinomiya Police Department. And we find out he's looking for Sadako for some reason. So we find out that Keishi's father is a famous artist. Interesting little detail there for the universe, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also the word Sion. I don't know how to pronounce that. Like Sion.
Yeah, I think it's Sion.
I looked up what it meant, and it's just like a descendant of a notable family.
Alright.
You want to take the next one, considering it's a long one?
Yeah, so
just drop the big one on you.
yeah. Oyoshi death grips Kechi's shoulder to make him stand down until Irie stops him. While checking Kechi for bruises, Kechi says Oishi was looking for Satoko. This starts a conversation about Satoko's past with the death of her parents and that she and Satoshi moved in with their aunt and uncle. While in this household, both siblings experienced abuse from the horrible relatives. The aunt was killed by a drug addict and the uncle went into hiding out of fear of Oyoshiro's curse. Oishi seems to be taking the place of the uncle. It kind of reminds me of Mirai Nikki.
Really?
Yeah, you know if the parents were abusive?
Which parents?
You know.
Oh.
Remember?
No.
Oh, you know, like...
I don't remember that detail. I remember characters, but not that detail.
They kept her in a cage and that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Kechi then talks to 2 students that heard a rumor about Satoko's uncle being back in the Mizawa Kechi managed to snag Satoko's address from somewhere and heads there to check on Satoko when Irie shows up with Satoko in his car as well. He offered her a lift. What?
Oh yeah, Satoko is like, her eyes are so dead.
It's like, you get in this car now.
It's like, at least with her, she was helping. Well, he was helping.
He offered her a lift because of all the shopping she had to do, which includes alcohol. Shouldn't be drinking so young.
Well, it's not for her. It's for the guy that suddenly opens the window.
Yeah. Yes, and speaking of the window, this is what happens in the car. So the window opens to a guy that must be Satoko's uncle, yelling at Satoko for leaving the kettle on.
It's like,
She was told...
she was told to go do shopping. Like, you can't expect her to, like a child, to purely complete one thing, then go do the other, without you yelling at her for not immediately going and doing the other thing. It's like, it's a lose-lose situation for her.
Yeah. And so he just like decides like, I got no cigarettes. Here's an ashtray for your ass. Yeah.
Tries to hit her in the foot.
Yeah. And then he walks away, closing the window after someone named Tsubaki calls out to him.
Should probably remember that name.
Yeah, Tsubaki.
Also,
Richie is a...
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
I was about to read that. It's like... So, he, like... Tsubaki calls out Richie, which is a Japanese term for having a ready hand in Japanese mahjong. I pronounced that right? Mahjong?
Yeah, mahjong.
Anyway, so Sadako with her dead eyes stops Keiichi from confronting her uncle, and Keiichi takes a moment to realize she has bruises all over her body. They're just hidden by her clothes. And Ire also has to stop Keiichi from acting out, and like, I think he like puts Keiichi in the car, and Sadako is like, and says Keiichi's her new Nini, as in older brother. So yeah, in the car, Keiichi asks where did Satoshi go, and gets the same response of, he ran away. That's all what Keiichi seems to be getting. And of course, the natural question to ask is, why didn't he take her with him? Anyway, you want to take the next one?
Maybe he didn't want the baggage. Okay. Under the 1947 Child Welfare Act, a parent and child can be separated as an emergency measure to ensure the safety of the child. However, Satoko doesn't want this to happen and is enduring it in hopes Satoshi returns, which he probably won't. It's a lot like The Simpsons' Nelson's dad. He went for smokes and never returned.
Or if you want to be more recent, in Kindergarten, the game.
In what?
The game Kindergarten.
What's the game Kindergarten?
There's a character that's basically like Nelson from The Simpsons. And his dad hasn't returned.
Okay.
So yeah,
alright.
In the event this said abuse is public, Sadako would forcibly be taken into protective custody. Keiichi says he will report the abuse even if Sadako hates him for doing it, which is the good guy thing to do. It's like it's the right thing to do if you want to protect someone.
Yeah, well, it depends on the situation, you know.
Yeah. We do get more information on the situation down the line. Anyways, we get to meet a new character in this episode, and he asks Keiichi for directions to Furude Shrine. And Keiichi says he can
Uh-oh.
take him there. This character is Tomitake, a freelance photographer. At the shrine, they meet Mio Takano, who works at Iri's clinic. Keiichi doesn't remember her, but Mio knows him really well. Tomitake is teaching Mio photography. So we got a code drifting festival is coming up in 2 days. And Tomitake plans to take photos of tomorrow's setup. And we get a bit of curiosity of who's going to be cursed this year. And Mia brings up the possibility that someone is imitating the Oyashira curse to kill people. Which is a possible thing, isn't it? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Go on.
Okay. All the girls at the games club are talking about visiting Satoko because her cold seems to be lasting longer. Like, what are we supposed to do in that situation? And of course, Keiichi gets angry because he knows the truth and calls them all out on believing Satoko's lie.
It's like, were you all dropped on your head as children, or were you just born stupid? He doesn't say that, but
Be funny if he did.
yeah.
So yeah, Keiichi asked me on if he can come over to her house to borrow some manga, which is very blatantly code for private conversations.
Yeah, so it's the Australian version of you want to Netflix and chill, but without the chilling.
Well, he has no chill because he asked me on if he could help Satoko in any way.
Yeah.
But Mion says she can't help. She can't control the curse.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hey, guess who decides to shop for school for once? Satoko herself. And obviously, one of the first questions to her friends is, who called the child probation officer?
Yeah. Which of you was the rat? Tell me.
Well, I can tell you. It was the teacher, Cheer. She was the one to call the officer. And apparently this is the third report of Satoko's abuse. So we found out that Satoko's father wasn't her real father, but Satoko's mother's second husband. Let's try and say that 5 times fast.
No, I'm good.
I wasn't actually encouraging you to try that, Bailey. Because it's not possible. Anyway, to try and get rid of her stepfather, Satoko made a false report of an abuse story to the abuse hotline. And because of that lie, they're not believing Satoko now. It's just like... It's like the girl who cried wolf. She made up a story and now she's suffering the consequences of an actual abuse story. Anyway, during lunch, Keiji does his little head pat thing again, which in her
Vietnam
mind
flashback.
we get triggering a memory of Satoshi doing the same thing, and she freaks out and throws up.
He's like, look, God,
And
you're
also,
disgusting. Get away from
and
me.
also showing her strength when she literally shoves Keiichi across the room.
Yeah. I thought you was gonna flip the table, to be honest.
Like, where does that strength come from?
I don't know. It's like maybe just pure adrenaline.
It's like, where is the CPS when you need them now, right? Because she's having a full mental breakdown in front of her friends. Anyway, moving on to our next episode where we're at the side. It's like a small recap of episode 10. I mean, 2. I messed it there. Sorry. So Satoko is taken to the school infirmary to calm down to make sure she's not going to throw up anymore. And she's like, I'm going to take her to the clinic to make sure she's 100% okay. Which, I mean, good on the teacher for actually taking care of her students, right? It's like when a student's sick, she's like, I'm taking them straight to the doctor myself. It's like, I mean, you're not really supposed to do that. You're supposed to call an ambulance at least, right? Although this is the 1980s, so yeah. And Keiichi isn't accepting that the adults are doing nothing to help Sadako in her current situation. To save her, Keiichi plans on killing Sadako's uncle, punctuated by the birds flying away to signify danger. Cliche, of course. Gotta love those cliches, don't ya?
Yeah.
It's like, but who's the one in danger?
Don't know.
You want to
Who
take the
could
next
it
point?
be? Gee, I don't know. I just love hearing you narrate so much.
But I love hearing you narrate so much.
Oh,
Because you're just straight to the point.
well, oh, well, if you insist. Alright, where were we?
Third point down.
Third point. Catchy questions. Oh no, that's the next one.
No, that's the right one.
Is my right? Okay. Catchy questions his mom about which of the crimes of her mystery book she reads is the perfect crime. To which she responds that none of them, because the joy is in being able to solve the mystery created by the book.
Yeah, clearly she hasn't heard the show Unsolved Mysteries. But that's because it came out in 1987, 4 years after this whole story.
Yeah, she also says if a story has no intro, then there's no story. No reason to call it detective.
And
Catchy races.
there's like no reason to have the crime happen in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, so Catchy races over to the school to pick up Satoshi's baseball bat without even considering gloves, and hides it behind a broken plank in the school walls. Dude,
Like you should
you could
consider
at least
gloves at
wipe them
least.
off. Do you know how easy it is to wipe off fingerprints?
How easy?
You just get a little cloth and wipe it over like a doorknob or like in this case a baseball bat. You just do that.
What about peeing on it?
Yeah.
No,
No,
that just
it's like
put more
the dogs.
DNA.
The dogs would be able to track it back to you. They track the urine.
Drag it back to your pee.
Yeah, they're like, this is him. Get him.
All I can just think of now is the sniff dog sniffing your ding dong. It's like they're just sitting there. It's like we got the person.
He then scouts out a killing location and burial site to do his crime at. Lastly, he asks Mion if she can take Satoko to the Cotton Drifting Festival, so her uncle will be alone for the murder.
Oh,
Mion,
at least he's planning. He's planning well.
yeah, but if he gets caught, it's going to be worse because it's premeditated.
Yeah.
So Mion mentions getting a call similar to the one with Kechi right now from Satoshi. From that detail, Kechi pieces together that Satoshi was the one to kill his own aunt. Turns out Mion had already invited Satoko to the festival, so this phone call is more about creating a loose thread for the police to follow.
As
Kechi
it always
goes...
is. You always have to have that one or two loose threads for the detective to follow.
Yeah, to try and throw him off the scent. Kechi goes to dig his future burial site for Satoko's uncle, while a flashback happens to learn that Kechi is extremely smart. However, doesn't have good grades in his classes. That's like me. I'm smart, but I have terrible grades. From his results in the Kreplin test, full name Uchida Kreplin performance test, he's weak at problems he has no interest in.
So yeah, that particular test is an actual test used in schools for educational guidance and also recruitment selection for jobs.
That's interesting. Kechi did well in his class. He was among the top students in grades. Some bullies didn't like this and killed a hamster or guinea pig to put on his desk.
Yeah, it's not obvious what it was.
Yeah, something stamped on its face. Over time, he ended up moving to Hinamazawa and meeting the main four girls of the games club, joining in their games.
Anyway,
Yeah, he said the title.
Yeah, he actually says like the proper title, and he questions what does that even mean.
Yeah,
Because
and
Higurashi is actually a type of cicada.
Yeah, and speaking of cicadas, that's actually what First Form Cell is based off, I believe.
What?
From Dragon Ball Z, First Form Cell.
Oh.
Because, you know, that, I don't know if you know, because you don't really watch it, but he absorbs the androids and he gets a different form. Because I think the cicada, it stabs its prey, then spits acid into it, and drinks up its liquefied organs.
Oh, jeez. That is horrific.
It has, I believe that's right. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what whatever insect cell is, that's what it does to feed, because he's based off it.
Mm.
So Keche retrieves his murder weapon from beyond the broken plank and calls at least get a burner phone, man. God.
Well,
calls
he calls from a location that wouldn't be traced back to him.
Good. So he calls Satoko's house pretending to be the Okinawa police to lure her uncle to the murder location.
So he's now got the charge of impersonating a police officer.
Yeah. And he almost fumbles the lie since Satoko's uncle doesn't know where the police station is.
Cool. He got lucky though. He got lucky.
Yeah. Satoko's uncle comes around the corner to a baseball bat to the head, courtesy of Kechi's surprise attack. He does get away, only to fall down the slope into Kechi's attack range after coming out of nowhere.
Like he almost like teleported. He was like Jason.
Yeah, and because it starts to rain, his plan starts going to shit because the festival is, well, since it's raining, it's going to be cancelled.
And also, he notes that he got far away from the original burial site that he had set up. So he's sort of forced into like digging up another spot.
Yeah. Yeah, he dumps the scooter into Unigafuji's.
Oh yeah, he uses the scooter to move the body over to where the site was, and it's filled in.
It's like, what the hell is this?
It's almost like the story is trying to fill in its own holes.
It tried to fill in the blanks.
So yeah, he dumps the scooter off it into Oniga Fuji swamp along with the bat. It's like, dude, if the bat's missing, someone's gonna realize that the bat is missing.
Yeah.
It's like you want to put the bat in a location where it could be found, but not tied back to you.
Yeah. It's like have you ever seen that game like I Heart Senpai or something like that?
No,
And Senpai likes someone else, and so you got to kill that person, and then
not get caught.
just like yeah, and you got to like burn the body and clean up the blood.
That just feels like Yandere Simulator.
That's it, Yandere Simulator. Like Markiplier playing, no, but I burnt the body. How?
So
Okay.
yeah, he's done the whole digging up the hole again, tossing the body in, covering it up. He even goes as far as covering it up with branches, which is actually a smart move.
Yeah.
And he's happy with himself with getting away with the crime. He's like, I got away with the crime. I got away with the crime.
Yeah, with a hop and skip in his step.
Until he gets exhausted and collapses on the side of the road. And Mio-san is like showing up, and she's curious as to why she has a bike and shovel. So yeah, he had to go. I think he had to go like all the way back to his house to find the shovel again. Which, taking the shovel from your own house ties you to the crime, man. So yeah, Keiji lies and says that he left the shovel at the local garbage dump when he was treasure hunting, and with Rena early in the day. Too bad the dump's in the other direction, like the other side of town. It's like, yeah, don't lie to a local because they're gonna know and call you out. But yeah, Mio just takes him home and is forced to leave his bicycle behind as there's no space for it. However, looking at the backseat, there's already a bicycle there. And Mio seems to already know there's a corpse out there somewhere. Dun, dun, dun. Dramatic music. Not a good sign when someone knows there's a body out there, isn't it?
No, sorry.
Well, this is the last episode we'll do for today.
You sure?
Well, we've already done 3 episodes.
Alright.
Anyway, Sketchy asked what Mio means by burying the corpse, okay? And it's like, and she says that stray dogs can track the smell and dig up the corpse.
Oh, that reminds me of I saw this meme. You know you know the dog Lassie?
No.
It's this dog, and it's like this old movie, and it's like, what's wrong? And the dog's barking. It's like, little Timmy fell down the well. Lead the way, boy. And he leads them, and they save the child. And it's like this kid, it's like, what's wrong? And it's like, you want me to look in the well? And the kid looks in the well. It's like, oh my god, there's a lot of dead children down there. And Lassie pushes him in. And then you see the dog Lassie just smiling as the boy falls down the well.
The dog's the murderer, huh?
Yeah, so what a twist.
What a twist. A saboteur. Anyway, so Keiji notes that the bicycle in Mio's car as Tomitake is like, oh, that's not a good sign. But Mio manages to explain it away as being her bicycle that Tomitake chose for her. A fair cover, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Mio, what was that?
I said, I'll say.
So yeah, Mia then starts saying the two of them never met to die. And Keiji gets out of the car. It's like, okay, that's weird. And while walking to his house, Keiji gets freaked out by a random noise of some sort. It's like, bit paranoid, are we, Keiji?
Yeah, well, you would be after what you just did.
Well, you want to take the next point?
I don't know, do I?
I think you should.
And which point would that be, my friend?
Keiji getting to school late.
Oh, yeah, I thought so. So Keiji gets to school late, and there's this weird energy in the classroom, like his harmonic balance is out of sync. His karma's all screwed up for what he did.
Mm.
It's like he's walking into a different story because apparently he was at the festival.
Wait, what?
Keiji took part in a shooting match game. He gave Reina a big stuffed toy and he saw Rika's dance. What?
What's going on?
Keiji suggests the club plays a game as it's been a while since doing so. Satoko tries to leave crying because of her uncle, not because he's dead, but because Satoko doesn't know what Keiji is talking about. Ultimately, the truth is revealed. That Satoko, uncle, is alive.
Dun dun dun!
And then poor Keiji wasn't even wearing a mask. Damn it.
So,
If you're not
who did
wearing a
Keiji
mask,
kill then? If it wasn't the
Yeah.
uncle.
and it's like if you're gonna kill someone, wear the mask at least, to
Hide your face.
unless you know you're gonna kill them, then don't wear it.
Well, he knew he was going to do it.
Yeah. So Rena and Mion tell Keiji that's why you gotta double tap, like with zombies. You always
Yeah.
double tap.
Zombieland double tap literally is like tiling that rule.
Yeah. So Rena and Mion tell Keiji he has to go treasure hunting like he didn't just recently kill Satoko's uncle. Later that day, he makes a lie about having a cold so he can go confirm what he did.
Oh, I've
He
got a
then,
cold too.
he then traps himself into having to go to the clinic and somehow convince Irie to help him out of his situation. Keiji checks if the bat is back in Satoshi's locker, but it isn't. He then heads to Irie's clinic to confirm he hasn't got a cold, and Irie asks if he had too much fun at the festival yesterday. Hint, hint.
And Keiji asks if it's possible that someone could look exactly like him.
Maybe he had a twin or a doppelganger.
Yeah. Keiji breaks out and confesses to murdering Satoko's uncle on the night of the festival. And how no one witnessed the crime. It's like, no witness. It's basically almost the perfect crime.
Until you started talking, you idiot.
And then he brings up the weirdness, or like the strangeness of that Satoko's uncle is alive again, and is back at the house with Sadako, and the abuse is still going on. Iri says he'll make them both of them some black tea, but plans to mix in Asamatto and Brovaden and use sugar and milk to mask the taste of the medicine. Which, with black tea, you don't really have milk in it. Or sugar. But yeah, both Asamatto and Brovaden which is the full name of that one is Bromoval Rio. I think I butchered that. They're both used for the purpose of sedation and hypnosis.
Hypnosis. Tell me more.
You want to take the last few points to send us out?
I sure can, buddy. Shit. Hold on, I just accidentally scrolled down too far.
Well done.
Where were we?
Why don't you go and drop dead?
Yeah. Is it, what one was it? While digging the, no, it was a little up.
No.
In his frustration, Ketchy says, drop dead. Suddenly someone calls, calling for Irie. Stupid pop-up. Calling for Irie as Mio has been found. Ketchy heads out to check on the corpse of Satoko's uncle. Information is added to the story of Mio's discovery. She was found burned alive in the Gifu mountain. Gifu?
Gifu.
Tofu?
Gifu.
Gifu Mountains, which is located just north of Nagoya Prefecture and city. While digging the grave site of Satoko's uncle Oishi and some other cops find Ketchy and tell him to keep digging the hole. One of the cops literally throwing him back down into the hole. After a while, one of the cops takes over, tossing Ketchy out to Oishi for him to
Like,
push Ketchy.
it's impressive, like, the cop literally tosses him out one-handed. Like, one-handed toss and just, like...
Yeah, the cop that was digging hits a pipe and notes the ground got firmer, meaning they dug a hole deeper than the original hole.
This is confirming that Satoko's uncle is most definitely alive. Like,
Yeah. Oh, what a twist!
twists upon twists upon twists. Anyway, we're gonna end this episode here. Links will be in the description to the main channels of both of my channels and also both of Bailey's channels for you guys to go check out. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know next video comes out. A ding, a ding, a ding, a ding.
Dong 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 dong.
I am Jack.